Yo, 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 yo. Welcome to Eat Sleep Sixers. I am one of your hosts, 215 the Sports Guy. Got my sister in the house, Jennifer from the block. And guess what? The Sixers win. How do you feel about the win, Jen? Let's elaborate on it.
I feel great about the win. This is what you do to an opponent that is inferior. You take them, you smack them, and you keep them down the entire game. That is what you do. And I was, before anyone, even though it's just me and you today, steals my flowers, I got my flowers right here, even though my co-host is on the phone. We'll just talk about y'all. All right, so we got a bunch of you in the chat today. I'm really happy to see that. I thought everybody be out there watching the Eagles game. We got, I'm gonna say your name wrong. Striviza. I don't know, buddy. Can you tell me how to say your name in the chat? We got Prophet, we got Sam Jones, we got
We got
Jose, we
Dom
got
Hack in the house.
we got Don Hag, we got Raheem. I am very happy to see you all in here.
Most definitely.
Stride.
Jose's in the house.
Yeah.
Straight from the work site. Jen, I want to read off some stats for you. And
All
I
right.
want you to, let me know as if I wasn't out there, as if I wasn't watching the game. Let me know what you saw, what you liked of these players. Tyrese Maxey, 33 minutes, 23 points, 1 assist. How do you feel about his performance tonight?
Well, Tyrese was he was fast. He was making shots. His shots weren't falling, unfortunately. His threes were at one point he was like 2 for 8 from 3 point line, but he's still trying to get his feet under him. His shots were just a little bit short.
Mm-hmm.
But all around energy was great from that young man, and he still had a really good game.
He left some meat in the bone, is what it sounds like out there. He left some.
And Strive says Maxi is back.
Hey, hey, James Harden with a man's triple double, 20
James,
points, 11 assists, 11 rebounds from our point guard. What do you feel about his performance tonight?
James was in it from the moment the game started. This was like he was trying to redeem himself for that performance the other night against who'd they play? I don't even know. It's 2 nights ago. My brain has already forgotten who we played.
Hey,
But the Bulls. He's
yes,
already trying to make up for his Bulls
that was
performance, and he
a wretched
definitely did,
performance.
no
Yeah,
doubt about it. He had that triple double in the first half, or very very early in the third quarter.
okay,
So very very good game from James Harden, our point
okay.
guard.
Uh, we've been screaming for this all season, and it's sorry to say it takes our big man going down to see Dreadman, who had another masterful game of 20.6 rebounds, and Paul Reed
Hmm.
with a double double off the bench, 16 points, 11 rebounds. What do you think about our big man attack tonight?
Well, first I want to talk about Paul Reed first and
Let's do it.
foremost, because Paul Reed showed up and showed out. Paul Reed had, I believe, 8 offensive rebounds.
Woo.
I mean, that was, we were talking before the game about we have no one on the bench. Somebody was saying we have nobody on the bench to rebound, or we don't. And that is just simply untrue. Paul Reed is a rebounding machine. He gave us so many second chance opportunities tonight. It was a beautiful thing to see out of Paul Reed. And you know how much I love Montrez. Montrez is he gets my flowers tonight. He
Mhm.
came out there with the positivity, with the energy, with the focus, and all around freaking great game from Montrez Harrell.
Most definitely. Most
Absolutely.
definitely. We definitely needed that with, a big piece, no pun intended, missing from our lineup on tonight. These guys filled the role masterfully. And it looks like Shake Milton filled the stat sheet up himself tonight with 8 points, 6 assists, 6 rebounds. What do you think about his performance off the bench?
Shake. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he was doing his thing. He was only he was only one bucket away from joining the other seven,
Mm-hmm.
6, 7 people in figures on the Sixers today.
Okay.
So, he filled his role well. And the only person who didn't
Mm-hmm.
seemed to take a little bit of, I don't know, it was like he was being inhabited by PJ Tucker. It was like the ghost of PJ Tucker
Jumped into his body.
into D'Anthony Melton's body today. 0 points,
I see.
0 assists.
I see.
We only took 5 shots the whole game.
What did you
So,
What did you see out there that contributed to that? Like,
I don't know, he looked lost out there, Carl. He did not look like himself. Maybe he
mm,
wasn't feeling well. Maybe he just wasn't up for an afternoon game.
yeah,
I don't know. But do you
yeah.
know who was up for an afternoon game?
Who was?
Tobias Harris.
Okay. Okay.
Tobias Harris admittedly loves an afternoon game. And you could tell because he was like laser focused.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Defense was on point tonight, huh?
It was good. I mean, you're playing the Pistons. Look, the Pistons, they're not a good team. I don't care how much Kate Nala want to sit there and talk about, you never discount this team. They could come back at any time, blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah. No, they're actual garbage. They're actual trash juice garbage.
Yeah.
And you know who belongs on the team with them?
Who?
Korkmaz.
I see you got some minutes tonight, Jen.
And he did not deserve even that garbage time minutes. He made one dunk, which was actually hilarious. Good for you, Korkmaz. But the play before the dunk was embarrassing. And I think Daniel House might just end up on Shaqtin' a Fool.
You know, Aunt Mums is making a horrible, horrible assumption right here. Is saying that, and I don't believe it 1 minute. And this kid seems like he takes the game seriously. He takes care of his body. Everybody is entitled to an off night, and for a guy that's been on way more than he's been off, I give him the pass tonight, especially because we
Yeah,
won.
yeah. I don't know what the hell was going on, but I'm sorry, Aunt Sims.
Oh, that's why. That's why.
That's
That's why he's
unfortunate.
upset, Jen.
That's why they do you often take Melton on your FanDuel bets because maybe you jinxed the man. I don't know, but it was a good game. It was a fun game to watch because I love a good Paul Reed game. I
Yeah,
love
yeah,
when he
yeah.
is showcasing his talent, not getting into foul trouble, making these really crazy shots just look easy. That was his kind of game.
Hopefully,
How
Doc.
many times did Korkmaz shoot Berg? I don't know. I have to look it up. I
I'm gonna
saw
make an
two. I
assumption
saw
and
two
say,
attempts. One was ridiculous and didn't make it in, and the other was a dunk.
yeah, yeah. It was a good opportunity against a team like this to bounce back from last game where we didn't have the juice, to just figure some things out tonight. It felt good to get in that winning column again. And don't look now. We got these same Detroit Pistons, January the 10th,
Yes,
back to
we
back.
do.
They play us at our crib this time. So, you know, it's a great opportunity to get a back-to-back win versus the Eastern Conference opponent and get some of our guys in rhythm. Hopefully, Joelle will be back next game. I'm banking on it. So here she is. She's coming down the hallway, and she has a bouquet in her hand. The flower lady has arrived, and she wants to know, Jen, who does your flowers go to this evening?
There isn't even a doubt in my mind who my flowers go to this evening. My flowers go to Shrez. My guy was on fire. Season high again.
Yeah,
Second time. He had a 20-point game. He just like stepped into those shoes, big ass shoes of Joel Embiid, and did him proud. I was proud of him. He wasn't made. He did everything right, in my opinion. So,
I
how about
got
you?
I gotta give it to my guy, Jen. I gotta give it to my guy.
Of
I don't
course you
think
do.
I mean, the average person doesn't know how hard it is to sit on the bench night after night, not knowing when your number's going to get called, not knowing what plays you're going to be involved in. And excuse me, you come in and perform well, really well. Kudos to him for not hanging his head, throwing the towel in, saying just, you know what, I'm never going to get a good chance. Doc is riding me. He's not giving me an opportunity. He took his opportunity tonight. And that's what you have to do in the NBA. As a bench player, it's a cold world out there. But with the opportunities you are given, you have got to cash in. And
Yeah,
Paul Reed
man,
cashed
and
in.
you know what? He like it was a different Paul Reed tonight. He was smooth. He was taking his time. He wasn't getting into those stupid fouls that he always gets into. I mean, it was a really good Paul Reed game, I have to say. All the
Jose,
role players get Jose's flowers. That's awesome.
that's
Good.
solid.
I
That's solid.
wanted to say, I want to address a couple of these comments.
Go
How
ahead,
many
Jen.
rebounds for Reed? I don't know, but I know he had like
He had 11.
8
Uh, said
offensive rebounds, which is outrageous and fantastic for us. How many he had? Reed? 11?
11.6 rebounds for him. I mean,
And
16 points, 11 rebounds for him.
before the game, we during our pregame, Jose's, uh, what was the hold on, I'll find the word in a second.
He
His
made, he made a Nostradamus pick again. He guessed
yeah,
something
what
right.
do we call that again? We call it a
Bold prediction.
bold
There
prediction.
we go,
Damn.
Jen.
So his
Wow.
bold prediction was that Paul Reed would get a double double, and Paul Reed got a double double.
I'm
Now,
a look.
Aunt Sims and I both predicted Tyrese to get a 40 point, but
Whoa.
his shots just weren't falling yet. But he'll get there. He'll get there.
I mean, 23 points is still hella good. And if I'm not mistaken, that's around his average for this year before he was injured. So, I'll take the points. We needed them tonight. Um, so hell of a game.
I just also want to give some props, maybe a little one of my flowers, like a
A pedal.
carnation, a single carnation to Matisse Thybulle, who got 6 steals tonight.
Mm.
6 steals. He was 1 steal away from his career high. So
I
that was
mean,
pretty.
it's almost a given. If Matisse plays over 15 points, he's going to have 3+ steals. It's just a given. He does this, So I've read in an article that people were questioning Doc, well, why is Matisse getting time now opposed to House? Matisse has done well with his opportunities, Doc says, right now. And, uh, his defense is basically better than House. And House isn't putting up enough offensive numbers to make them say, oh, we got to keep House in over Tease. So they're battling for a roster spot right now. So
And House is absolutely losing that battle.
big
And
time.
when he went and made that dunk tonight, he showed exactly why. He doesn't have the patience or the finesse yet. That's what I'm saying. He's not gonna. I don't know
Yeah,
how long he's been in the league, but
he got some time, man.
he doesn't have that finesse, and maybe he never will. He just you can't run up and dunk on some embarrass yourself like that. I mean, he looked like one of the Pistons who did that earlier. And
The
they're
one
a
thing
young squad, and they are just a mess.
they are.
So
The one thing I see of House is he tries to force offense a lot of times. And honestly, you got to let it come to you. You got to let the game come to you, especially when you're a player. Peace and love, Fobs. Especially when you're a player that's depending on other players to get you shots. You got to let it come to you. I see him forcing a lot. He does the little step back thing, his hard and that's type of step back, and oftentimes it doesn't fall. You know, Pump and drive, bro. Get contact, go to the line. That's what I feel like his game should be. He should be a dirty guy off the bench. So, you
yeah,
know,
They would. He should be something off the bench. I don't know. Right now, he's just kind of like taking up a roster spot. It's funny because the other day on Sixers 24/7, um, Timmy Snyder pointed out the fact that we have so many unused roster spots because we have like so many guys who don't get any tick. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying? Plus, we have that empty roster spot. We have 16 guys instead of 17 guys.
that's been lingering all year
Yeah,
long.
it's ridiculous.
What is that
So
about, Jen?
that's about, I don't know. Maybe they're trying to figure something out for trade deadline. But
Court
how you
Moss.
let go of Bassie or Joe or whatever just to have an empty roster spot doesn't
That's
make
my
any sense.
thing.
Those guys don't make any money. It's not like you're going over the salary cap because of Paul Bassie, Charles Bassie.
Yeah, yeah,
All right. So what do we got here? Abdul, he say, problem here is so many good players here. Everyone won't get tipped. Well, that's true. And
right,
everybody shouldn't.
right.
Korkmaz shouldn't.
I knew that was coming. I knew that was
So
coming.
let's talk about George Niang. You would have
George
thought
Niang.
George Niang was Zach Levine after you were watching Kate and Ola talk about him today. He had a good game.
Yeah,
He had a solid game.
yeah.
But man, they talk about that man like he is the second coming.
I mean, uh, he's put his bar of expectation there with his play the last few years here. So I expect this out of him. I expect 14 points off the bench. He's capable of that. He is our best shooter on this team. He's been that for a while now. So, my question with him is, can he continue playing consistent throughout the season into the playoffs? Last year, I saw his play die down a little bit towards the playoffs. Those knees of his, the
Hmm.
minivan tires went flat. So I'm hoping for the tires to stay inflated this time of year because we sure
Well,
need his game in the playoffs.
if you remember last year with George and the rest of the bench, they had to play a lot of minutes
They did.
in the early to mid part of the season because of injuries and illness. And, they played way more minutes than they are necessarily capable of playing, but they had to out of necessity. So by the end of the season, yeah, my man had flat tires
Oh
and
yeah.
he didn't have any change tires. He didn't have a spare.
I'm 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 sorry. I'm sorry. Cork Maz's favorite fan is in the chat and he's blowing up the chat with Cork Maz praise. You
Who
might
is?
want to address this, Chen.
Is it Ant?
It's Berg.
A
You,
Berg?
you know he loves Cork Maz. He loves grinding your gears more than anything about Cork Maz. So that's what I think his attempt to do is tonight.
Korkmaz did not shoot 100%. Did you see that atrocity before he had the dunk? Come on. I know Ant Sims loves Korkmaz too, and I'm never gonna win the Korkmaz hate battle in this group, but I don't get it, y'all. I don't get it.
So
He's not good. He's
speak,
fair. He's
speak
fair. He should be playing over in Turkey where he can excel.
right.
Here he's average and
He's
he's
average.
not like NBA caliber in my opinion. He's too
You know,
streaky.
sadly enough, Jen, at one point, I really had high hopes for him, being the catch and shoot a la Kyle Korver type of guy for this team. And it just never came to pass. He couldn't stay consistent and, he can't do more than one thing. So some said it's lack of opportunity, but you being here 4 or 5 years, he's gotten about 15, 16 minutes per game in years past. Didn't really do nothing with it consistently. Out with the old and with the new. So, you know, we have new guys here ready to take the
Yeah, I
opportunity. So,
know. Unfortunately, you know what, Korkmaz, you had your opportunity. Brett Brown tried his best to make you a bomber, and you bombed. Not in the way he wanted you to, unfortunately. Yes, Zaki. Zaki wants to
absolutely.
join the show. I am absolutely all for that.
Absolutely. Zaki, if you're friends with any of us, send us an
He's
inbox.
friends with me.
Okay. Send Jen an inbox. Let her know your availability for the games. We'll talk it over with the team, and just like that, this group of ours, we started this, and we're all members of Sixer 24/7. So whenever someone wants to get on with us, we welcome it. You know, we welcome it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I want to talk here with Abdul.
Go ahead.
Abdul, he is a 3-point shooter. And you know what? When he's like, that is his role. Stay in your lane. I get it. He might be a lot bit, very much streaky in that role, but he is not to be bringing the ball up.
Yeah,
He looks like anybody from my grandma could go steal that ball from him when he brings the ball up. It's like all over the place. And, he gets into the lane and he's fumbling around. And he's turning the ball over. Stick to your role. If you're going to be out there, make your 3-point shots. That's what you brought here for. If
right.
you can't do that, you
Bottom
don't need to
line.
be on the team.
Bottom line. It's an unforgiving league. You don't get too many chances, and I believe he's gotten a lot here in Philadelphia. So I said it before, read a few articles about it. The Sixers are shopping him around close to the trade deadline, hoping to get somebody that will bring them closer to the threshold. And hopefully we could get that done and bring somebody else in here who can contribute. You know, to what we're trying to do here. What comment are you looking at, Jenna? So you making that face?
I was looking at there hasn't been one play designed for Korkmaz to get a three. My man needs to make his own plays. Why's he got to have a play designed for him? Stand around the perimeter like everybody else does and wait for them to throw you the freaking ball.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, it's not rocket science. And then I was looking at Fobbs, and he was saying, "What if I'm a contrarian?" And I want to know what you're talking about.
Elaborate, Fops.
What's
So,
ISO Ballberg? See, I wish they could talk back to us.
well, if they keep on talking, he's
And he's
saying
saying we're
y'all assess.
assessing Cork in garbage time minutes. Look, I will assess Cork. I have been doing this for a while now.
Yeah,
All his minutes have not been garbage time minutes. He
right.
used to be a regular off the bench rotation player, and he still was streaky as hell.
You know what I'm mad about? We let go Isaiah Joe opposed to him,
We did.
and we were obviously wrong with that decision we made. I felt like Isaiah could help the team a lot more and had a higher ceiling than Korkmaz did. That's just my opinion. It
At
is
some
what.
point, you got to cut your losses. You got to Zaire Smith that guy. Bye bye.
That was a huge cut right there. First
Well,
round pick.
I'm
Jeez.
sorry, man, but Zaire Smith was a terrible experiment.
Nah, actually, Reed isn't doing the same thing. I can say Reed has been more good than bad this year. Reed has tried to cash in all his opportunities. So, Korkmaz has been here for years and has down spiraled as far as progression. So, I can't really compare those two.
I don't know, Dom. How did it come down to money? Cork makes more money, right?
Yeah,
Cork makes more money.
right.
So if it comes down to money, are you saying we couldn't trade Cork because he gets paid too much? Maybe that's what you mean.
I mean, it is what it is. It is what it is. But you know,
Abdul's still mad about Zaire too. We're both still mad about Zaire. I'm mad about Zaire. You're mad about Zaire. Zaire. You know what? We could be mad forever, but it's not going to change anything. We could still be mad about Markel Fultz, but we won't be mad
listen,
about that.
I'm steaming about her, and we can have a whole nother show, a whole nother segment about that, and we'll call it the Forgotten Ones.
Yeah,
It's
let's
coming
do that.
soon, so y'all just made
Stay
up a show for
stay
us.
tuned. I
Stay
wish I
tuned.
wore my Paul Reed Victory Tour T-shirt today because I feel like I'm on the Paul Reed Victory Tour today. But we
Absolutely.
got to represent the Birds. How they doing right now? Anybody got update for us?
We are winning 16-0. It's halftime.
Woo!
So it's looking like we got
Go
to keep our
Birds!
foot to the gas, but the MVP is back, and he's driving the ship straight to the motherland, baby Bubba. Excuse me, that's a Martin quote, if you never heard it. But,
I think Rivers doesn't give significant opportunity. Well, that is the truest statement I've heard today. He does not.
he
He has,
doesn't.
and I said this before. I said this in pregame. He keeps everybody on a short leash, especially
Yeah.
if they're new. They make one mistake, boom, you're not going to
Listen,
see them for a good 3 games.
I want people to understand something, and it's something I've come accustomed to, peeping with Doc. Doc loves veterans. Doc loves guys who know what they're doing that doesn't need to be held by the hand. He does not like the younger guys that he has to train and coach up. Uh, he just doesn't. And that just, I think, comes from an old school mindset, from being an old school player. He wants the guys that knows what they're doing. That's why they got PJ in there. He may not give you all the glitz and the glamour, but, he knows where to be and when to be there and know when to set a pick or when not to set a pick. So, you know, uh, that's just something I've noticed about him. Uh, is it good? I don't know. Maybe it depends on what type of coach you're looking for. Are you looking for a coach that's going to build your young players up and turn them into something? Or are you going to look for a coach who, knows how to deal with veterans and, can catapult them to a higher seed in the playoffs, which I think he'll do this year. Jen? This episode is going so fast, but do you have
I
anything
know.
else to
Can you
share?
believe it?
Yeah.
This is a fast one. I just want to say that I think it's a good idea to have a combination of your veterans and your young
Yes.
guys. Like you
Yes.
don't want a whole young team like this Detroit Pistons team we just played, who had like two veterans with Alec. Well, count Nerlens, that's three. Uh, you don't want a whole like young team because that's just going to be a hot mess. So you need a good mix,
Right.
and you need to develop your players,
Right.
and that'll take you far. And the
Well,
cohesion of the team is really important. So, um, yeah, that's about it. We got to see these guys again on Tuesday night, and that
Tuesday.
will be our last meeting with the Pistons this year. So let's hope we go for the sweep. I'll bring my broom out and we can all have a little celebration. But I don't want to get ahead of myself because, in the end of the day, they are an NBA team, even if they are
Most definitely. Most definitely. Guys, it's that time that you please pay your attention to the top of the screen. You'll notice that we are on Spotify, we're on Apple Podcasts, we're on iHeartRadio, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitch. We depend on word of mouth advertisement. So, Jen, what do we expect people to do?
Everyone in the league's been watching our podcast and biting off our slogans. So we need you to tell a friend, to tell a friend, to tell a friend about Eat Sleep Sixers. And if you are watching us on YouTube, please subscribe to our channel. If you're watching us on Facebook, subscribe. If you're listening to us on podcast, please give us a 5-star review. We love you all. We thank you, and we love coming here and chatting with you. So let's hope we can keep it up.
No te vide. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it.
Un
Thank you.
amigo. Un amigo.
Ora,
Un
amigo.
amigo. Wepa!
Wepa! Peace out, y'all. Thanks for watching.
See you on Tuesday. Go Birds!
Go Birds. Go Sixers. I am ending our show.